Hey YouTube, this is Jerry D in Tennessee. Just wanted to respond. I had a viewer that asked me a question. I was talking about the GBTC and E-Trade offering exposure to crypto, and didn't quite understand the guy's question, what he was talking about, and I tried to get him to elaborate, and then he just quit responding to me. So I don't know. I mean, if you know what he's talking about, if you know what he's talking about, let me know. I'd like to see your link and read. Let's get up. Let's blow this up a little bit so you can read it. So, Trevor Redlarksky, well, I probably totally just messed up the name there, but anyway. No disrespect intended, but he made a comment. He said, they are going bust. How can they ever pay a 50% premium to its customers if you ever want to sell? Plus, they are currently selling off other possessions. So, I looked and I didn't see anything where they were claiming to pay 50% to the customers. And then he replied and said, I'm referring to the discount on BTC being at 48%. That means you're buying at 8,400 per Bitcoin. I still didn't find anything where they were promising to do that. So I asked him, are you referring to the market per share price versus the holder per share price on this link? Because the holder per share, let's see, the market per share price was $7.91 versus $15.42, and I'm not going to pretend to know what calculation they're doing to get these two prices. But if I scroll down, is this it? Yeah. Okay. So, and this is a change. This thing changes too. So. There's a market per share price. The close was $8.08. And I mean, it's around 50% lower than the holdings per share. And I don't know the difference between market share price per share versus holding per share. I don't know what they mean by that. I mean, they've got these little asterisks here. Is there any... Okay, products displayed with a market price per share also maintain a public quotation on OTC Marketplace to date. These products have not met their investment objective, and shares of such products quoted on the OTCQX have not reflected the value of digital assets held by such product, less such products' expenses and other liabilities, but instead have been traded at both premiums and discounts at such value, variations that have at times been substantial. That's one. Represents the product's market price per share as quoted on the OTC Marketplace. For additional information. Market per share. I don't think OTC shows Bitcoin prices. Coin market cap with, but not OTC. So I'm not really sure what they mean by that. So the other thing, the other double asterisk, digital asset holdings per share is calculated daily at 4 p.m. based on the applicable CoinDesk index reference rate. If you'd like to see how holdings is calculated, please refer to the applicable products disclosure language of the OTC markets in its private placement memorandum. So, I may need to do some research and look a little deeper into this. But anyway, the thing I wanted to say is E-Trade's listed this as a way to get exposure to Bitcoin. But here's my take on what I think this is all about. So when you buy Grayscale, you're buying into a trust. It's almost like when you're buying into, if you have a 401k or you have the Roth IRA, And you're buying into that, and they have these funds and trusts that they buy into. So you're not actually buying into the stocks that they are listing for the trust or fund. Just like you're not buying the Bitcoin. You're not buying Bitcoin when you buy into this in the grayscale. No, you're not. You're putting your money, you're handing your money over to Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. And as a group, everybody that buys in, they're like, what's the price of it right now? Let's see. It was $8 at closing, wasn't it? Something like that. I think it was $8. Stay logged on. Here. Stay logged on. So, yeah, it was $8 at closing. So, that's the trust price. You're buying into the trust. So, when they did their initial offering back in the day, when they first started this, and it looked like, if you look at the advanced chart, they have been, let's go to max. They've been out here since 2015 doing this, and I'm not really sure how they've been exposed to the public. Oh, here's what I'm looking for. I don't know when they got picked up, but they're on OTC market. So here's an observation I've got here. They're at $8.08, okay? And they're on OTC markets. And I think they're on OTCQX, okay? So penny stocks are like less than $1. Am I right? I think, yeah, I've less than $1. So I think there's a battle going on with this thing. And I know I'm digressing from the viewer's comment, but okay, so you buy into this thing at $8 a share, and it's kind of works like a penny stock. Since it's on OTC, it's almost like it's a penny stock. So you're handing them over money into this thing. When they first initially offered this thing, they were raising money to buy Bitcoin. So my thoughts of what they could be doing, and I don't know this for a fact. So, but as a group, everybody that buys into this has their money is invested into buying this buying Bitcoin through Grayscale. You don't actually own the Bitcoin though. It's in their wallet. They took the money that they raised from their product offering for this trust, and they're investing that money into Bitcoin through their own wallet. So I think what they're wanting to happen. So if you look at, I need to be on snapshot. I need to be on that snapshot. So I think what they want to be, they're trying to become an electronic traded fund. Okay, they're still going to be they're still going to be investing in Bitcoin, but my guess is if they can get on the NASDAQ as an ETF, I think they may start doing some kind of dividend yield or something. Pay a dividend based off the earnings that they make off the Bitcoin investments. That's just my take on it. That's what I think they might do. Might be why E-Trade's allowing it to be traded. I'm surprised E-Trade's doing this kind of thing right here with this, especially with Fidelity, getting into the crypto market to allow you to buy Bitcoin and stuff. As part of their service, as part of your portfolio. I'm surprised E-Trade's not, in Morgan Stanley, which owns E-Trade, has not gone that route yet. But with all the stuff that's going on right now with FTX, and just the bad PR that's been going on. There's a lot of people down on crypto, and the SEC's probably saying, we don't know if we want you guys to be on any portfolios in any of the brokerages. So I think they really want to get to the point to where they can pay out a dividend, or they can or something to reward the stockholders of the trust, the holders of the trust. I'm not sure. I'm considering stock since it's on the OTC. So I think they want to get to the point where they're on NASDAQ as an electronic traded fund. And this is just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a crypto advisor or investment advisor. I'm just a crusty old man in East Tennessee talking about stocks and crypto. And I'm not telling you to buy into this. I'm just saying this is an option if you were so to get into this. And I do feel this will go back up when Bitcoin and Ethereum and these others start picking up and the price starts coming back up. This is going to go up because there's going to be an interest in this. And people are going to be buying into it. So right now would be the time to buy into it before it starts going up, or watch it. You can watch it. So let's go back to the advanced chart. You can watch it. So large chart. Let's go to the large chart. Make it easier to see. All right. So we're down right here, right? Oh, that's behind me. Let's say we're right here, okay? We're more like around $8 right now. So if you see this thing, and I know I'm over 2017, but I could probably turn myself off. Here, hold on. Let's turn the camera off. There, that's better. All right, so we're down here at $8. Yeah, $7, $8. Close 808, as you can see right there where it says close. So like when people were back in here, well, actually back in 2020, 2021, when Bitcoin was up in 68,000. I mean, look at this. When Bitcoin started going up, if you watch the chart, okay, right now it's down. We're down in the valley right here. So we're going back to 2021. If you were watching right in here, in this area right here, and you're seeing this thing go up, and Bitcoin prices going up, Ethereum's going up, all these different major well-known cryptos that's in the news is going up, and you buy into this thing while it's going up, and wait for it to peak. If it starts coming down, you're in the green, and it starts easing down, then there's no shame in when this starts kind of going down right here. It goes down in this valley. There's no shame in selling as this starts dropping right here and taking profit, because if you had bought right in here and it got up to here and started dropping right here, you're still in the green as it's going down. So you selling this, take your profit. It goes down. It starts going back up again. Maybe a day, 2 or 3 days. You need to. If you're on E-Trade, you got about 2 or 3 days. You got to let the transaction complete. Okay, because if you buy back into this right here and it's going up again, and it's within the 2-day period, then you violate a gentleman's agreement if you try to sell out of it. So you got to hold at least 2 or 3 days. Let the transaction complete. Maybe you hold it for 2 or 3 days. It gets back up here and it starts coming down again. So you're still in the green and you sell again right here. And you're out. Because it did come down here, and some people probably bought in here and it dropped. But look how fast it dropped here. So you just got to be careful with this stuff. It's no different than buying penny stocks, volatile penny stocks, or anything else. Watch the chart and see what the RSI. I mean, you could probably see what's lower indicators. No, I don't want comparisons. I want lower indicators. Let's see, technical indicators. Okay. Lower indicators. So MACD, RSI. So if you use the MACD and RSI, weighted moving average, did you turn it on? So you can watch these. I don't like the colors though. So you kind of see what the RSI and the MACD's doing as it's going up, because these indicators tend to follow each other. It's like a wave in the ocean. You know, you get up in the green and you sell off, and then you go down in the dip, and when it starts going back up, buy back in real quick, and I mean, that's the whole key to making profit: buy low and sell high. So use the indicators to your advantage. Watch them. I really like the Yahoo colors better. Take note of that, E-Trade. There's probably a way I can change the colors. But I'm not going to waste my time during this video doing that. But anyway, you see what I mean? I mean, if Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin went up, hit 68,000, come down, it went back up again, and people bought in, and so people's making money of this. They're riding the wave. You got to ride the wave. Is how you do this. And again, I'm not telling you to buy into it, but I'm saying, that's what you can do. So let's go back over here. Where did I find this other article here? No. This is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this newsroom. This right here. This is what I'm looking for. So here's another thought. So I think they're trying to get in the NASDAQ, get off the OTC, and the SEC is refusing to let them do it because they're $8 a share. They're not a penny stock anymore. They are at $8 a share. They've been higher, and they've never went to the NASDAQ. So they had an application to convert the trust into an exchange-traded fund. I believe they're really trying to get on the NASDAQ. If they can do that, this may take off. I mean, really take off if Bitcoin takes off, because that's going to give it more exposure and more credibility to get on the NASDAQ. But with all this negative stuff with FTX and the Bankman stuff, it's SEC's just kind of pushing back, saying, we don't know if we really want Bitcoin to be into this kind of stuff. And I do really believe that the United States government would like to go to a digital currency, but I do believe that the currency is going to be a stable coin if we go to a U.S. digital dollar. I'll leave a link to this right here down in the description. But again, I really don't know what. I wish he'd sent me a link. I sent him this link, and he never did reply 2 days ago. And he never did. I don't know what he's. Maybe he misunderstood the page. I wish he'd come back and said, well, I was seeing this page, and I saw it's like, this is half the price of this. I really can't. I don't know how they're doing the calculation. I mean, they say that they're looking at different market stuff, But they don't tell you take this and take this, multiply this by this, or add this to this, or whatever. They don't tell you how they're grabbing it. So I don't want to mislead anybody. I'm not going to guess. I'm really not going to guess because I have no idea how they're getting these two prices. So this was what the price was 2 days ago, and it's $8, $8 something today. Is this the page? I think this was the page. Yeah, 808. I think that's the closing price there. So this is the price of the trust. I'm not sure what holdings per share means. Might be how many people versus how much Bitcoin they have divided into how many. Maybe they have some kind of calculation of how many shareholders they have. That's holding Grayscale, GBTC, versus how much Bitcoin is compared to how much they hold in the trust. There may be some calculation they're doing with that. I don't know. I can't say. But the number seems to change. So you get this number here. This number seems to be changing. So it's like if you go up here, see, that's about an $8 difference right there, $7 or $8 difference right there. So as it's higher, there's less of a difference. So I think something that works in the factor is how many people are holding this trust or have bought into this trust compared to the price of the BTC. I think that's what. I don't know. I'm just speculating. This is just my opinion. I wish they'd give a little more detail on what they're doing to get how you can mainly take a calculator and get the number. They're doing some kind of algorithm behind the scenes to get this, and I don't know what it is. I couldn't tell you how to calculate it. So, and I'm not going to pretend like I know what, because I don't know. But again, they're in a lawsuit with the SEC. They're trying. I'm pretty sure. Let's read this. Let's see. Grayscale has launched a lawsuit against the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission after a regulator denied the group's bid to convert the world's largest crypto investment vehicle into a fund listed on Wall Street exchanges. So yes, they are trying to get. That says to me that they are trying to get on NASDAQ. Though it doesn't say that they're trying to be on NASDAQ. But if they want to be a fund listed on Wall Street exchanges, yeah, they're trying to be listed on NASDAQ. They're trying to get off the OTC index onto NASDAQ. And they're at $8. They should be able to do that. They allowed them to trade on the OTC. So they have perfectly good rights to go sue the SEC and say, hey, wait a minute. We're on the OTC. You allowed us to create this fund, allow people to buy into this, and really it's not fair to any shareholders that's in this, that's holding into this, or has bought into this trust, if they don't allow it to go into the NASDAQ. Because if you're over $1, most of your penny stocks jump in the NASDAQ once they get past $1 a share. They're allowed to, I think they might have to do some legal forms or something, apply or whatever, and the SEC approves it, but they're over $8 a share. They've been higher. If we go back, yeah, they've been higher. I mean, they've been $40, $50. I mean, that's the price of a blue chip stock. I mean, AT&T's what? $18 a share now. I'm into AT&T, and Dad, blame it, I bought into AT&T. I know I'm digressing again. I bought an AT&T, and it dropped down to $15, but it's on its way back up. It's been hovering around $18, $19 a share. I do believe as things start turning around, you get into the new year, I believe AT&T is going to get back up to 20. And there's a couple of I think I showed an article about there were some financial experts that expected to get to $28 a share, and that's what I'm waiting on. But I'm also collecting dividends off of it. They pay dividends. Anyway, sorry, I digress. But this thing, penny stock shouldn't be $50. Look at that, the high is 58. Excuse me, allergies. High 58 on one day, it opened at 50. That's not a penny stock. I'm sorry, that's not a penny stock. And so that's why I do believe they are going. So it says the SEC late on Wednesday rejected Grayscale's latest application to become an exchange-traded fund because of the 40 billion Bitcoin trust failed to meet consumer protection requirements. Now, what that means, I don't know. Maybe they're wanting some kind of insurance or something. I don't know. I don't know what their requirements are. These included measures designed to prevent fraudulent, manipulative acts and practices. But the thing is, I think the SEC's cracking down and making it hard on GBTC Grayscale because of the FTX thing that's going on, that's happened. So time will tell what'll happen. Excuse me. So Grayscale's failure to secure regulatory consent is a blow to the crypto industry, which has been hoping its approval would ease the financial crisis sweeping the sector. Converting Grayscale into an ETF would make it easier and quicker for shareholders to redeem their holdings and stabilize the price of Bitcoin. Now, how it's going to stabilize the price of Bitcoin, I don't know. So again, to me, as a group, if you're into Grayscale, you're buying into Bitcoin as a group. So you don't have physical Bitcoin that you're sharing into this wallet that they've created that they're buying and selling the Bitcoin. So I don't think an OTC, I don't think a penny stock is allowed to pay dividends. I don't know of any penny stocks that pays any dividends. I think you have to be on the NASDAQ to be paying. I think you have to be a full-blown ticker to NASDAQ ticker to actually pay dividends. So I think that's where they're wanting to head. I think they're wanting to pay dividends to reward people for buying into the trust. I think. Now, this is my speculation. But I'm going to leave the link, let you read into this a little deeper. Again, I really don't understand where Trevor was getting the 48%. I don't know where he gets the discount on Bitcoin being 48. I don't think that's a discount. If he was looking at this, I don't think this is a discount. I think this means something else in relation to the trust share price that's on the market. So, and this might be like a reflection of how many holders. When you look at the, I don't know. I don't know where they're getting the 15 for. Could be. Let's go to one more thing. Bitcoin. 16,000, but I don't know if that's a percentage. 16837. See, it's 15.4. I don't know where they're getting this number here. This is clearly the trust price that's on the exchange right now on E-Trade. This is clearly the closing price. This here, I'd have no idea what that calculation is to get that. So I don't fully understand that. I don't think they're giving you a discount. I really don't. I haven't read anything about any kind of a discount on Bitcoin. I don't think you actually own $15 of BTC buying into the trust. I think you own $8 for one share at the time. I don't think, so again, it's like a 401k. You've got a group, mutual fund group or something that you're buying into for IRA, 401k. Everybody's buying into this fund as a group. You're not owner of that stock that they're buying into. There's usually a number of stocks that they buy into, a handful of stocks. So you don't actually own the stock. You contributed your money toward the purchase of the stock, and you've got, or the fund, and you've got so much money in the fund, and based on what they purchased in there, that price is going up and down. And they do some kind of calculation. I don't know how it works under the covers, but all I can say is Fidelity has done a good job on my 401k. So I'm glad they do what they do. I do use a management team on my retirement account for Fidelity, and they have done real well. But yeah, you don't actually own any Bitcoin, so it's not like you have any Bitcoin in a wallet or anything. They have their own wallet. You have thrown your money in the pot, and they're actually buying and selling the Bitcoin for you behind the scenes. But I'm not really sure how the money is handled behind the scenes. So maybe that's part of the reason the SEC said no. Maybe they haven't told the SEC exactly what they're doing behind the scenes and how their trust fund is working. Because if anybody has a link or anything that you want to share down in the comments below this video, and let me know if you have more insight or anything to tell me how this works, how this whole thing works, then I'd love to see it, because I am curious about how they do this. But I've never seen the behind the scenes on how a trust fund works or mutual funds. All I know is they buy, a lot of your mutual funds, they're buying multiple stocks as a group and selling, and based off of what the money they make is what your mutual fund, how it grows. How your money grows. They keep growing the money, and your portion, you have a percentage based on, compared to everybody else, you got a percentage that you paid in, and somehow they keep track of how much you have in versus everybody else, and you get a portion of the gains as it grows. And I think that's how this trust is supposed to work. But you don't actually own the Bitcoin. It's the trust that owns the Bitcoin. You don't own it. You have bought into the trust. You contributed your money to the trust so they can invest in the Bitcoin. But the trust owns the Bitcoin. So maybe the SEC's wanting a little more clarification on how they're running their operation. But anyway, I just thought this was interesting. This is an option on E-Trade. I showed the link there on my previous video, and I think it may be safer than going into than FTX was. to buy into it. But I think the SEC is going to watch. I think they're watching Grayscale because Grayscale is trying to get into as an electronic traded fund. So if they go to court with the SEC and try to fight this ruling that the SEC give them, and they win, I think it'll be a good thing. It'll be a good win for crypto. Period. I agree with this article. I think it can be a big win for crypto to do this, for Grayscale to do this and win, if they can win against the SEC. But SEC, I think, is just trying to protect people. They don't want anything else like FTX. They really don't have any control over the crypto part because they're non-centralized. But I just brought this up as an option. I think I'm going to talk about a few more of these and see what's going on. I think this one right here is going to blaze the trail for the rest of them, though. The rest of the funds that's out there. But if you go to OTC market overview, I thought there was a little write-up here. Yeah, there is. Okay, so Grayscale is a Bitcoin trust. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, BTC, GBTC, is an investment vehicle that enables investors to gain access and exposure to Bitcoin in the form of a security without the challenges of buying and storing and safekeeping the Bitcoin directly. Shares are distributed through sales and private placement transactions and become eligible to sell into the public market after a statutory 6-month holding period. Maybe they're staking the money. Maybe they're staking. That almost sounds like they're staking, because it says there's a 6-month holding period. While investment in the share is not a direct investment in Bitcoin, which that's what I just said. The shares are designed to provide investors with a cost-effective, convenient way to gain investment exposure to Bitcoin. The shares are quoted on the OTCQX under the ticker symbol GBTC. GBTC's investment objective is for its shares based on Bitcoin per share to reflect the value of the Bitcoin held by the GBTC. So the price is based on how many Bitcoin that they are holding compared to how many people are invested, I think. I think there's some kind of algorithm they're probably using. Less GBTC's expenses and other liabilities. So here's another thing, too, I want to mention. So they're paying gas fees, okay? They're not charging you gas fees to buy into the trust. So less GBTC's expenses and other liabilities. To date, GBTC has not met its investment objective, and the shares quoted on the OTCQX have not reflected the value of Bitcoin held by GBTC. See, I don't know how true that is. I don't know how you would calculate that and how they report it. Less GBTC's expenses and other liabilities. So see, they're paying gas fees and other stuff. But have instead traded at both premiums and discounts of such value, which at times have been substantial. In the event the shares trade at a substantial premium, investors who purchase shares in OTCQX will pay substantially more for their shares than the investors who purchase shares in the private placement. Bitcoin per share is updated daily in Grayscale products. That's the page I'm on the other screen. So GBTC sponsors Grayscale investments. So yeah, I don't know how they're calculating the price on that. I think it just kind of works like Right now, I think the price is just like just a regular Bitcoin or Bitcoin. Listen to me. I'm having a senior moment. I think the price is more like it's more like a normal penny stock. It's like, what are you willing to pay? Oh, Bitcoin's gone up. I'm going to pay $10. I'll pay. They're asking $10. If you look on the, the buy and sell, when you're buying and selling and the offers and the bids, the ask and the bids. So somebody's asking $10, I'll pay that because Bitcoin's gone up. But if they're asking $10 and like Bitcoin's down, you're like, nah, I don't think I want to do that. I want to buy it at 8. I want to buy it at 7, and it's driving the price down the same way you would on a regular penny stock. That's how it works. That's the way I see it. That's my speculation. That's my opinion, and that's only my opinion. I really don't know how the mechanics under the covers, and maybe that's part of it with the SEC and why they're having to sue the SEC is because the SEC's wanting more information on what are you doing with these people's money and how are you buying it and how do you expect to pay them back, and maybe they've not been vague about how they are going to perform and pay the trust holders. My expectation, if they're going to do the right thing, is I would just say we're going to pay if we make money off of our investments on the Bitcoin, we're going to pay dividends to the investors that's holding the trust. And I think that might be why they want to be on the NASDAQ. So anyway, that's just my rant and rave. I guess Trevor got frustrated because I didn't really understand what he's meaning, where he was getting that discount. I don't see a discount. It looks like it could be a discount. I mean, you could look at this one way and think, well, I'm buying it at $8, but then maybe it's worth $15 a share to be. I don't know. I don't know what the difference is between these two. And right now, they're not paying any dividends. They're not paying any dividends out. So the price is what it is. So time will tell. This will be interesting. I'm glad I run across this, but I thought I would just mention it in case somebody's out there on E-Trade and wants to investigate this. I'll leave links to these pages that I went to so you can go look at them yourself. Oh, there was also a letter, and I'm going to blow this up. Let's read this too. Dear Grayscale investors, in my first letter to you this year, I shared my belief that the day-to-day crypto debates shouldn't distract us from our longer-term convictions about this asset class in 2022. Certainly tested our resolve. Like many of you, I have been listening, observing, trying to make sense of the turmoil that has ensued over much of this year. In thinking about the future of our industry and the future of Grayscale's business and stakeholders, I wanted to share my reflections. Reflecting on FTX, and FTX again may be a main reason why they're having a hard time with the SEC. There is a micro level of distrust of crypto and crypto intermediaries at this moment. This is a hurdle our industry will need to overcome together during the weeks and months ahead. I welcome the skepticism from the investors, regulators, and legislators. After all, only by evaluating past events can we learn, progress, and grow. This is the ethos of the crypto industry. Financial markets are volatile, and this year has been an example with almost every risk asset performing negatively. Crypto has not been spared. While recent events have impacted some of the progress we have made, demonstrating the value and credibility of this asset class, they have also reinforced a few important points. There should be a U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs. So he's claiming that there should be an ETF, and maybe that's to help control or help prevent anybody from getting taken by like people like FTX. But I strongly believe that investors would be best protected by the standards, familiarities, and accessibility of a spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, more than ever, it is hard to understand why the SEC would not want to bring GBTC, the world's largest Bitcoin investment vehicle, owned by nearly 1 million Americans, further into the regulatory perimeter. Investors deserve stronger regulatory protections. U.S. investors are still accessing the crypto assets class, and recent events represent a strong reminder of why it's important for investors to be able to gain access to crypto through the U.S. financial system. To me, that says stablecoin or centralization of crypto. So they may be for centralization of crypto. I don't know. The cornerstone of our global economy. So, I don't know. Time will tell. This was when did he released this statement yesterday, December 19th, 2022. The day is December 20th, 2022. So, I'll leave a link for everybody to read that. And time will tell what happens. I mean, there's a battle going on. There is a battle going on. So, yeah, I'm not going to read any more to you. It's just interesting. Again, Trevor, I don't know what discount or how where you saw. I'd like to see a link or something where they say that or they claim to pay 50% to customers. I've not seen that claim. I don't see anything about a discount mentioned anywhere. I've been looking and trying to find out what you're referring to. It could be the difference in this price, and it looks like it's about 48 to 50% difference here in price, and maybe that's what he's referring to. But I don't know how they're calculating. I know the one on the left is the closing price. It's pretty obvious that's what that is, but I don't know where they're getting this $15.42. I don't know how they calculate it. I don't know how to reproduce it, so that's what I'm saying. But I appreciate you replying, and I know what I know, and I don't know what I don't know. But I am curious about this stuff, and I'm going to see if I can find out more about it. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy into this. I'm just saying this is an option on E-Trade that E-Trade is offering. You can bring this GBTC up. You can do a search, and you can buy into this. Right now, it's $8. A little more, $8.08 a share. Or yeah, I guess it's called a share. Even though it's a trust, it's still like it's a fund. But I look at it, I guess, and again, I know I just said this, but I look at it like it's a mutual fund, but it's Bitcoin. They're buying crypto. They're not buying stocks, but I think they're trying to do the same thing with crypto that mutual funds are doing with stocks. It's in my honest opinion. But then again, that's just my opinion. Time will tell. We'll see. We'll have to follow this and see where they go if they win against the SEC and I really believe they're trying to get on the NASDAQ. I really do. I really believe that they're trying to get on the NASDAQ. But we shall see what will happen. And I hope if they are trying to get on the NASDAQ, they will pay a dividend out to the people that have invested. Because, again, it even says on the OTC markets that you don't own that Bitcoin. You do not own that Bitcoin. You're handing them money over when you buy into the trust for them to invest in Bitcoin. Now, what happens behind the scenes? Now, Bitcoin's down, so they're not really making any money, and they're paying every time they buy and sell, they're paying gas fees too. So you got to look at that. So it is more expensive to buy into this from where I'm sitting, what I see. It will be more expensive for you to buy into Bitcoin through this because they are paying the gas fees, and they're going to take that out of the money that you're throwing into the fund. So if they make any gains, I guess they'll probably, if they get to where they're really making consistent gains, and they've got a pattern where they're riding the waves, the dips, the highs and lows, that's probably going to pay more than pay for gas fees, and may, like I said, enable them to pay dividends. Because right now, they're not paying any dividends. They're not paying any dividends at all. If you go back to the snapshot, dividends and yields, you may start seeing a price right here. For a dividend, but they've been up $40, $50 for this fund, a share, or however I'm going to consider it a share, and they're not on NASDAQ yet. And I believe that the company's frustrated that the SEC's not allowing them to go to the NASDAQ. They're holding them on the OTC markets. But, they allowed them to be publicly traded on the OTC. So to me, you're above $1 a share. You're not a penny stock anymore. You should be on the NASDAQ. I really do believe that. And if they've not done anything negative to get themselves in trouble in the past or anything, and they're just doing their thing, again, I don't know what their SEC's wanting them to prove or whatever. I'm sure it'll get worked out. They're moving forward trying to fight the SEC decision, and maybe they'll come to an agreement with the SEC and they'll get listed on the NASDAQ. And if they do, I do think that'll take off. And again, Bitcoin, this may be a part of the factor that will help Bitcoin turn back around, because I'd hate to be the one at 68,000 a coin, and you're probably expecting to go to 100,000 with all the hype that's been on Twitter and all these other sites. Excuse me. But yeah, I'd hate to be the person holding Bitcoin. I had been at $68 or bought in at 68, and then it's dropped down to what it is now. What did I say it was? 16,000? Man, that's a big loss. But I think Bitcoin will turn around. I think it's all going to turn around over time. It's just a waiting game, folks. It's just a waiting game. You got to be patient. You got to, if you're in the red, you just got to sit and wait it out. I mean, if you're not sold, you're not lost, unless the stock just totally goes bankrupt, belly up, and it's taken off the NASDAQ, and then you have lost your investment at that point. But as long as the price is still moving and it's still kicking, you've not lost as long as you've not sold. So, and Bitcoin's the same way. These people has been in here. Let's look at it. Has it got a chart? Sign up and get diamonds. I don't know if I want diamonds. I don't know what that's meaning. I do have an account on OTC Market Account. I don't know what that means about diamonds. Sorry about that. So let's go back 1 year, year to date, all. Let's go to all. So yeah, $67, $68. I guess 67, just under 68,000. Whoever was up in here, did it come started dropping? Oh my word! I'd hate to be in that person there, but you know, if you're in there and you've got the money, I'm sure they're just waiting for it to come back up, and I do think it will come back up. I think it has potential to come back up. But we shall see. Time will tell. But like I said, if you've not sold at a loss, then you've not lost your money. It can go back up. It can go back up, and most stuff goes back up over time. Anyway, that's enough. I guess that's enough of my rambling for tonight. But anyway, I appreciate you watching my video, and you know, if anybody knows what Trevor's talking about, I don't know what I've not read anything about the 50% premium. I don't know if they're going bust. I don't know how they're running their finances under the covers. I don't know how they're making their money unless they're buying and making profits in Bitcoin. That's covering, because I know they've got this is a financial organization, and they've got staff they got to pay. So they may be paying their staff too out of buying and selling the Bitcoin. So we'll see. Time will tell. It'll be something to watch. It will be something to watch. Anyway, thanks for if you stuck with me this long, listen to me rambling on. I know I ramble on sometimes, but I appreciate your support of the channel. And again, I stress, just keep it real, keep your lights on, keep food on the table, roof over your head, clothes on the children. Crypto, penny stocks, most stocks right now, it's a risk. You don't know what they're going to do. You have no control over it, and just be cautious. Do not invest anything you cannot afford to lose, and just watch the charts and see what it's doing. Just try to get your timing just right, and don't get emotional and just dump it all at a loss. Because again, this stuff goes up and down. If you look at the history of a lot of these stocks and stuff, they just go up and down. It's just like an ocean in the wave going up and down. Anyway, I hope you have had a good week so far. I hope it's you continue to have a good week, and the upcoming weekend, I hope it's a good weekend. I hope the holiday season. Merry Christmas and whatever. Wherever you're at, hope the holiday season is a good season for you. New Year's, hope the New Year's is good. So I'll be coming out with some more videos. I've slowed down because the market's been so bad, and I'm looking at some other content that I'm going to talk about. But I appreciate you supporting my channel, and I wish you well. I hope you have a profitable week. Just be cautious in your investments. I'm not going to try to pump this stuff like these people's been pumping AMC. I kind of backed off from that, and I'm like, man, they're talking about AMC, and it hadn't done anything for 2 years. I mean, I think people's made money in AMC, but it's not hit $1,000 like people was claiming about a short squeeze and stuff. I think there's controls in place to try to prevent that stuff from happening. Not trying to down AMC neither, but it's just saying it is what it is, and there's a lot of this stuff here you can't control. I mean, there's certain factors that cause this stuff to go up and down, and sometimes it's beyond your control. Anyway, I'm going to cut it off, and I hopefully we'll see you in the next video. But again, I would love to know if anybody knows anything about this 50% premium. Maybe I'm missing something that I don't understand, and I apologize that I don't understand it, but I don't know how they're working their business under the covers. And that's another thing to be cautious about. Maybe that's part of the reason they're having issues with the SEC. But it looks like they're going to try to work it out. They're going to try to talk to SEC. They're going to take them to court. And the SEC may just sit down with them and say, you know, you're going to have to do this and this and this and this, and then we'll let you be on the NASDAQ. And maybe that's how, maybe that's just that simple. But I'm sure it'll all work out in the end. Time will tell what's going to happen. Anyway, so just be cautious and have a good holiday season, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.
Bella's got to be right up under me, don't you, Bella? Oh my word. Cloudy day, looks like it may rain. Clouds out over the valley. East Tennessee Valley. And Bella, she's just happy to be around.